Welcome to Booming Your Bottom Line, a weekly podcast on how to find, serve, and keep local boomer consumers as your customers. If you are a small business owner, then this podcast is for you. Hosted by Mark Hager, CEO of Age in Place Networks, publisher of ageinplace.com, and expert consultant in the boomer consumer industry. And Aaron Murphy, architect, certified aging in place specialist, national speaker, and published author on aging in place. These two small business owners are going to help you learn what you need to know and step by step what you need to do to grow your company through serving the rapidly growing older consumer niche. Now, get ready to supercharge your business.
Welcome to Booming Your Bottom Line, a weekly podcast where we talk about how to run and grow a small business that serves the aging boomer consumer. I'm Mark Hager, and with me is my co-host, Aaron Murphy. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Mark.
Now, last week we started into a few business building topics, including perfecting your 90-second pitch and building your list, both essentials for small business today. This week we're going to continue to look at topics that can help you build your business by talking about how to educate and empower your staff or employees so they can be a boomer-trained part of your team and help you create and instill those amazing customer experiences for your clients.
Absolutely. This is going to be a great episode. If you missed last week, make sure you go back to our archive shows at ageinplace.com/small business to get caught up on the previous subjects that'll tie in and lead to where we are today. If you'd rather, you can find us on iTunes and Stitcher as well. Let's get into today's subject, Mark. Now, I want you guys to listen to this real carefully. Today, we're going to help you get right to that place where the rubber meets the road. Okay, and what I mean by that is we're really going to drill down into how you use some of the concepts that we've been talking about for the last number of weeks to help you kickstart down to a new path for your company that can help you realize some amazing success by accessing, connecting, engaging, and creating long-term loyalty from your boomer consumers.
Right. Now, if you've listened to all the episodes that we've created on a weekly basis thus far, you'll recall that we had a 3-part series about knowing your customer and what you can do with the information once you know it. All of that is coming back around again today.
Absolutely. To experience that true growth for you and your company, it's going to take an educating and a buy-in of your whole business family. That's why you have to educate your employees. You must empower them to take care of your most valuable asset, your customer experience. These employees are your front line. They're the ones out in the battlefield, face-to-face with your clients every day, and they are solely responsible for that business first impression. And oftentimes, that experience between your customer and your staff can make or break the entire future opportunity to have a repeat customer client for life or to get referrals from those folks visiting your store or using your service when they go on to talk with family and friends and caregivers and everyone else in their life that they share information with about their experiences. And they do it every day.
Yes, they do. Now, the main reason that it's tough is because many times in business life, in order to win, we have to do the proverbial letting go. We have to trust and have faith in the people we've interviewed, weeded through, selected, and hired. Those that we are working alongside every day to build something and do something that matters. You're not doing this alone, and your employees have to be contributing partners in this effort, or you won't be able to succeed. You cannot do it by yourself.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. So let's talk about how to get started down this path to educating and empowering your employees. The first step is going to get your people up to speed about the new focus, the size of this opportunity, as well as how it can significantly pay off if you get it right and do it right for your company and for them. You've got to let them know why you want to do it, what you want to do, and then how you're going to get started down that direction and what the rules of engagement are going to be for making this happen within the structure of your own company, your scripts, your systems. Okay, part of that's going to be developing your subset style of a mission statement for this effort, what you want to accomplish, why you feel it's worth it, and how you're going to go about it. This isn't something long and drawn out, rambling for pages and pages on end. It's something you can say quickly and repeat it often and keep it fresh. kind of think of this, we talked last week, another 90-second pitch. And you go back to episode 12 if you need to understand a little more about that. That was just last week. This is important because it's going to become a new and absolute mantra for you and your employees. It's going to be the yardstick that they measure, and you measure the business and the employees as far as how they're doing with your customers.
Right.
It's also going to keep your vision clearly in your mind so you can quickly evaluate a situation, figure out what has to be done to meet your goals, and be aligned with the mantra. You can create this statement for yourself, or you can do it with your employees. That actually might be a great way to brainstorm with them and allow them to provide their own input and their insights into building this mission statement. And subsequently, subconsciously, I think that's going to help them with the buy-in on the concept at the same time.
I agree. Absolutely. And that leads us to the imparting the vision to your employees part. This is where you tell them what you're doing. Creating great customer experiences for boomers, more repeat customers and referrals. And why. This is a very important part. That is that aging boomers are going to impact our community, and they're going to need more help as they age. You'll want to cite some statistics. You can even steal some from episode 3, that we did. And you're also going to want to talk about how you're going to start down this road. What are some of the first steps that you want to take or changes that you want to start making? And during this conversation, you have to let them know a few things, in my opinion. One, this effort is about the long-term growth of your company. And, that's something that they benefit from, keeping you strong. 2, that they are of monumental importance to the effort. You can't do it without them. 3, they have a vested interest in it succeeding. You might even want to develop some kind of incentive program or reward system to go along with this. 4, that you are taking your relationship with them to the next level by empowering them to do what is necessary to succeed in this effort.
Absolutely. Show them you're a team.
Yep.
The last part might scare some people, Mark, but let's not let it, okay? Although you're going to give your employees some freedom, and dare we say, some responsibility for your success in meeting these goals, you're not going to do this with a blind eye. We're going to talk to you about how you easily can set up a framework or a decision tree, if you will, so they can make decisions about what you do when they're with a customer to make things right if something were to go sideways or awry. So there's some guidelines to help them feel comfortable as a staff member with this effort and getting on board. So here's an example you could have of a discussion with your employee. Maybe we sit down and we have a meeting and we say, thank you everyone for coming to the meeting. Tell them you have something important to talk about. It's going to affect us all in the business and your entire community. Then tell them about the boomer. Tell them about the aging boomer consumer, the silver tsunami. Add some of those stats we had in episode 3.
Right.
Okay, about how big this group is, how much leverage and power and buying power they have, and how this is going to impact your business and your community in the next 2 or 3 decades. And again, go back to episode 3 if you need some stats on that. Tell them about some of the changes boomers are going to face as they continue to grow older. Cover some general information about what older people deal with, health, financial, mobility, whatever, and then give some specifics about what that does in terms of your relationship and your business,
right.
What products and services you have that solve problems for them, appease fears, give them comfort, etc., and therefore how we have to interact with these clients. Talk to them about how those changes will affect a boomer's life for the better, and how you have to be able to provide services and products to them on the customer's terms. And that's
right.
A big piece of the boomer and the psychology part. We've touched on it in the past. We'll touch on it much more in the future. But you got to know what works for them, and that's how you're going to approach it.
Exactly. And then, you would want to tell them that you've been working on some ideas on how you can help the aging boomers more as they grow older and help your company grow in the process. You can use our company too if you want to be inclusive.
Yeah.
You tell them that what it's going to mean to your business let's say if you lose customers because someone else is serving them better, your competitor, and you tell them what it could mean if you get a significant part of this growing 65 plus demographic. In most areas that's going to be a 6% growth between now and 2030. That's a lot of people. And then you say something like this: if we're going to be able to serve these people, we're going to have to come up with some ideas of how to do what we're doing in a way that makes it easier, more convenient, and or more enjoyable for them. Okay, you solicit them, you include them. So now you've given them the information that they need to attack the next part, and that is your mission statement. This is where you discuss and develop that statement together if you didn't already write it. Now we're going to give you an example mission statement, or statement of purpose, and it could be something like this. We're going to create great customer experiences for aging boomers and their families or caregivers. As a result, we will get more repeat customers, client loyalty, and referrals from them. We will do this through respectful engagement and caring, by adding value to their lives and being a resource to help them maintain the lifestyle that they choose. Now, real quick, let's talk about what we just said. All right? You've given them the framework of the boomers. You've let them know some information about it, and you included that in this statement. That's the goal, is the boomer consumer. But you've flipped that around and made a laser focus on the boomer consumer's choice, because those people have a choice, and they can choose you or they can choose somebody else. And everybody every day has to come into your company and understand that when somebody walks in that door, they choose to come see you.
Good point.
Instead of someone else.
But once you've got that figured out, you are going to want to post this, okay? Pin it up, put it up everywhere, discuss it at your employee meetings, start showing them that you are weighing decisions that you have to make by this mantra.
Right.
It's become a part of your culture, okay? Let that brain burn go through the company. Start thinking about all that. They're seeing it at lunch. They're seeing it on break. It's got to be all around them. They start to drink it up, and then they start thinking, acting, and working with the mantra in mind.
Right.
Okay. So once that's done, you're going to need to convey some ideas to them about what it means, right? So you should lead that part of the conversation with something like this. I don't know everything this is going to mean to us right now, but I've done a lot of homework, I've done some research, and I've got some ideas that I'd like to share with everybody that hopefully will start a conversation with where we can come up with more ideas, okay? This needs to be collaborative. We're talking about buy-in with your business family. So their input's critical. Whether you use their ideas or not, feeling heard as a staff member is critical to buy-in. Mm-hmm. So from the work you did previously as a small business owner, getting to know your customer, again, go back to episode 4 through 6 with us. If you haven't done that yet, just open a separate search tab, pause this, go watch those. If you're going to start talking about some of your ideas and how to make this happen, give them 4 to 6 ideas that you think will have a big impact. Then ask them what they think and stop talking and start listening.
Right. Now, any idea that they suggest, write it down. Do not, under any circumstances, make a negative comment. Don't dismiss any idea or, even make the frowny face. Don't even blink. Just smile at that person who gave the idea and thank everyone that contributes something, and then ask for the next idea. It's critical that you take the no idea is a bad idea mentality seriously during the brainstorming sessions. And once you've had a few ideas, once you've done this for a few minutes, tell them you'd like to continue the conversation in 2 days or 3 days or a week or whatever, and thank everyone again. And before you let everyone go, remind them that you value their input, and that if they think of anything else between now and the next time that you meet, come talk to you. Send you an email, write you a note. However they need to convey it to you.
Yeah.
Because at this point, everyone is going to need some time for all this to sink in. It's got to gel a little bit, because you've really laid a bomb down in front of them. You're like, and they're they're going to need a little time to see that things are still working. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say that people, get freaked out super easy, but when you start talking about major change, people start thinking about, am I going to lose my job, or, am I going to hate this, or whatever. So the thing is when you have this conversation, be very, very sincere. Really, really drive home the point that, you're talking about doing business differently because you want to help people more. You want to contribute to their lives. You want to contribute to your community. And it's just a side benefit that your company could grow. The focus has to be on doing the good. So after you have the meeting, your job is to correlate any ideas that came up and to really think about them and what they might mean for your business. You don't necessarily have to act on anything yet. You just need to think about what it means, what it could mean. So at your next scheduled time for a meeting, do a recap, start asking for more ideas, and start talking about what some of these changes could mean. You could talk about the ideas in a little bit more lengthy detail. Some that were brought up before, some that you had, and start getting everybody's mind working in the direction of not just this might work, but how would it work? And what does it really mean? And you only want to do a couple at a time, because you don't want to overwhelm people, and you want to make sure that you have plenty of time to get more ideas, because you want to keep those flowing. So then, as you keep the meetings going, and you're going to want to, do them on a really regular basis, and then as you start beginning to develop this plan for, we're going to implement this month, and then we're going to implement that this month, or however you're going to do it. You can start lengthening the time period in between your meetings, but you need to keep having them, because these meetings are going to turn into a way for you all to communicate about how you're pacing towards the goals, what's working, what's not working, new ideas that people have had, and what needs to be tweaked, that you're already doing.
Right. Well, I think we'll stop here for today. This is a springboard concept. This is a getting started piece. We'll get into the logistics. We'll help you out with that in future episodes. Next week, we'll talk more about how to educate and empower your employees to build your company's success from the inside out. Specifically, how to define the way you're going to operate under this new initiative to improve your service to the older boomer consumer and their family. We're going to help you to define the framework so that giving employees freedom doesn't make you lose sleep at night, or
exactly.
we don't want to add to your stress. We know what being a business owner is like. Okay, we're going to take you through that. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you visit our website at ageandplace.com/small business and sign up for the insider tips and the weekly additional information that we don't always get to on a podcast that our subscribers are getting every week. So it's a great resource for you. We promise that. Go check it out. And thanks for being here.
All right. So if you have any questions that you or would like for us to cover a particular topic in the podcast, or you would like to talk about working with Aaron and I to help you grow your business, just drop us a note at smallbusiness@ageandplace.com.
If you're on Twitter, you can also follow us there. Mark is at Age and Place Pros, and I'm at Aaron D. Murphy. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Be well, be blessed, and boom your bottom line.
Thanks so much for listening to Booming Your Bottom Line with Mark Hager and Aaron Murphy. To learn more about starting, building, and growing a local business that profits in the older consumer niche, just visit the website at ageandplace.com/smallbusiness. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter while you're there. If you'd like to get in contact with us, you can email us at smallbusiness@ageandplace.com. Fill out the contact form on the website or give us a ring at 865-236-1247. Booming Your Bottom Line is a joint venture of ageandplace.com and empowering the mature mind.